And we are recording. So we
Yay!
are official. It is recording. It just goes to show anyone who's watching this that we don't give up.
That's right. Determination.
we hit an obstacle and we just find another way around it to get the job done. So thank you for hanging in there with me, Kasie, while we figured that out.
Absolutely.
Right there?
I'm here.
Oh, awesome. So I'll go ahead and get started then, since we are running behind, but that's good because anyone who was running late can join in.
Yes.
Real quick, I am Tiffany Lenning. I am a realtor at Ross & Company Real Estate, and I have been working with Kasie now for several years. As a matter of fact, I send pretty much everyone over to Kasie. She is my trusted and preferred lender. So if Kasie, you can introduce yourself real quick, tell us about your team and why I send everything to you.
Awesome. Well, I am Kasie Copeland with American Mortgage. I have been in lending for almost 17 years now, been with American Mortgage for over 6 years. I am the sales manager for this area, and I do have a team. I have my husband, Don. We are the Copeland team, and then we also have 2 other members, Chelsea and Letha, that also are loan officers on our team. So having that team atmosphere really does seem to help, because if you can't get a hold of one of us, you can probably get a hold of somebody. So, and in this day and age, it's important to be able to get a hold of somebody. So yeah. Yes.
People like that. They like knowing that they can reach someone no matter what. And you know, if you're working with someone else and you can't get to your phone calls, that we can reach someone over there.
That's right.
So as we all know, things have changed dramatically, not just here in Florida or the US, but globally. So can you tell us how, as a lender, you've seen things change, such as interest rates? What are we looking at interest rates now versus at the beginning of COVID epidemic?
It's been quite interesting, to say the least. Having been in this industry for a long time, you start to think, oh, I've seen everything. No,
not now.
Not now. I can never say that. And interest rates, honestly, are changing hour by hour.
Wow.
They typically change several times a day anyway.
Yeah.
But now it's just a constant change. And for the first time that I would say since I've been doing this, conventional interest rates are better than government rates, meaning they're better than FHA, VA, and USDA.
Really?
Yes, which is a very interesting dynamic, because typically, you know, especially first-time home buyers, which you and I do a lot of,
right.
Your FHA rates, your USDA rates, all of them are going to be typically lower. Now that has flip-flopped. So it has it's just different, you know. As a loan officer, it's a different mindset on what's the best programs for these first-time home buyers, or anybody, you know. Minimum credit scores have gone up over the past few weeks. If first-time home buyers, if they're doing the Escambia County Housing Finance Authority, which is a first-time home buyer program, that has, just as of last week, increased to a 650 minimum credit score. All other programs are 660 minimum, pretty much across the board. But if you are below a 680, they are really looking at those files pretty heavily. So, and the interest rates are quite drastically different between a 660 and a 680.
Oh yeah, yeah. So what was it say a month ago? What were we looking at credit scores even 6 weeks ago?
We could actually go down. We had been financing some like in the 580 range for FHA and VA. So we had some people out looking for houses with the lower 600 credit scores that we had pre-approvals on, and they've kind of had to put a halt to that right now until we can get their score up. But as you know, that is something that we will do. We will help them build their credit score up. And right now, if they're not able to, now is the time to build it up. So
you're going right into my next question.
So when the world opens, that
Yes.
they will be, they've better positioned themselves to buy a home, get that better interest rate. And also at the same time, hopefully investors will start to settle down a little bit and loosen up again on the guidelines and credit score requirements and all that.
So for people who don't understand, it comes down to, it's not, one of the questions that I've actually had is, well, interest rates are 0 right now.
No.
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 So I tried to explain it, but so it's the investors.
Yeah, what that is when everybody hears that the feds have lowered the rate to 0%. That doesn't mean the mortgage rate has lowered to 0%, because that wouldn't make any sense.
That'd be nice.
Right? That would be awesome. But as a servicer and as a lender, why would we do it at 0%?
Right.
There's so when you hear that the feds have lowered the rate to 0%, what that means is your credit card interest rates have probably gone down, as well as if you have like a home equity line of credit, those rates have also gone down. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much because the Fed's lowering the rate. That's what the banks are paying. That's the interest rate the banks are paying, right. Not what the borrowers are paying the banks.
Right, right.
So, and honestly, when the Feds lowered the rate, it kind of had a backwards effect. Yes, the rates, interest rates are historically still low, but it actually increased mortgage rates slightly.
Yes, and that's what I was trying to explain. Yeah.
Yes. So it's been difficult to explain that because mortgage rates are 0%, right? Yeah. Yeah. But rates are still really low. I mean, so it's not, like they went from, in the high 2s to 5.5%. That's not what's happened. I think we're losing Miss Tiffany.
Yeah, hold on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Let's see.
You had a cute little picture up too.
Yeah. Oh, there we are. Yeah, my coffee realtor. I don't know what's on the screen here. I'm going to drop out of the screen for just a minute and give my computer time to.
Okay.
All right. So now is a good time. I guess that's my question is now a good time to go ahead and start? Like if you were looking for a loan before all of this, or considering it, would now be a good time to start that loan process?
Absolutely. And we do have numerous people in that situation that they are either super close to that minimum credit score, or they were pre-approved previously until the credit score requirements changed. So we are working with them on building their credit up. We have a program that we can use to help kind of guide them as to what to do. And a lot of people have been very successful in getting that done. So once the world opens back up, they have positioned themselves where they are ready to go.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things that, I mean, I'm all about getting the pre-approval and the pre-qualification. I mean, as soon as I talk to someone and they start saying, I'm ready to buy, have you gotten pre-approved? Like, I want to know. And if you haven't, have you talked to my friend Kasie? Because I regularly, first-time buyers and what have you, don't understand sometimes the value or the importance of getting that pre-approval process done. So as a lender who's going to walk with us hand in hand, so it's going to be the buyer, it's going to be me, the realtor, and it's going to be you, the lender. We're all going to do this together. How important is it to go ahead and get that, talk with you and get approved before we start shopping?
It is definitely key because we don't want to waste your time as a realtor. We don't want to waste their time as a buyer, and we don't want to waste the other, the listing agent's time or the seller's time either.
That's so true.
Especially now with everything changing so fast. Let me kind of back up a little bit too, because there is a difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval.
Yes.
And so if you just have a pre-qualification, that typically means that your loan officer, all they've done is looked at everything and said, or just looked at your application and said, yeah, that looks good to me. It doesn't
A lot
really
of
mean
those
a
are
whole
like
lot.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean a whole lot.
Mm-mm.
But if they do a full pre-approval, in our case at American Mortgage, we're going to take that application, we're going to pull their credit, we're going to look at their income docs, we're going to look at their asset docs as well. That way, when we run it through the government system, get that pre-approval, you as a realtor are comfortable knowing that we have done our due diligence and we've looked at their supporting documentation. So when we issue that pre-approval, that means a lot more than just issuing a pre-qualification. And again, in the times that we're in, that is key.
Very, yeah, just in general. I mean, yes, it's I think it's more important now than ever, but it's frustrating as a realtor to try to make someone understand how important that process is at the very beginning. Because once you start looking for property and you find something that you absolutely love, but you didn't go talk to Kasie and she didn't give you that thumbs up, and you find something that you absolutely love, but Kasie can't approve you for that amount, nothing else will compare after that. You will never compare that $300,000 home, and you know you might have only been approved for $200,000, and nothing at that point will compare. And it's hard as an agent to have that talk with a buyer.
It is, and you know, you and I have talked before. I'm like, I would not want to have that conversation. It is not a pleasant conversation. So, you know, and I know on our end, I'm probably going to ask you a lot of questions, just because I want to make sure that when I issue that pre-approval, that everybody knows that that's as good as it can be at that point in time.
And will that change though? So we start the process. Can that pre-approval change?
As long as their income still maintains, as long as they don't go out and buy a boat or that new furniture for the house.
I just did a video on this. Yes.
Then yes, that pre-approval is going to be pretty standard. It's going to be as good as it can be. And right now, with everything that is going on, you know, we're very cautious with people that are, let's say, waiters and waitresses, because obviously we know their income has gone down a little bit.
Yeah.
Same with hairstylists. You know, we've got several hairstylists, and if their income is, you know, tips and commissions and all of that, when we did the pre-approval 2 months ago, they may not be working right now. So they have no tips or commissions coming in. And now that pre-approval amount has drastically changed.
Right.
So it is key to be in, you know, have your loan officer, be in communication with your loan officer be in communication with you, Tiffany, as a realtor, you know, everybody, it's always a team effort anyway, but right now it is more important than ever to just have that communication.
Yes.
You know, I unfortunately had to make a phone call last week to a borrower that I've been working with for 6 months, and she was well pre-approved, but unfortunately she's in an industry right now where she has no income, and we can't close on a house if we have no income.
Yes.
So we know when the world opens back up, she's going to have that income again. And you know, but the sellers, nobody knows when that's going to be, and the sellers, you know, they need to sell their house. So unfortunately we were just in a bad situation all around, and you know, but thankfully everybody understood, and you know, we're going to work on just maybe getting her into a possibly a lower priced house right now, and then when she goes back to work, you know, we'll know what her income is and we can get her closed pretty quick after that. But so it's changing all the time right now. And you know, it's just key that we're all up on the changes. You know, I know things on your side of the industry has also changed, and you know, so it is so important for realtors and loan officers to just keep that lines of communication open. And I so appreciate what you and I have, Tiffany. I mean, for years we've worked together, and I feel like communicating is not an issue with us.
No, sometimes I'm a little too much, but
nope, that's okay. I say in this business, it can never be too much.
But I agree with you. I think in any relationship, professionally and personally as well, communication is the key. And these are the reasons why, if any buyers are out there watching and you've spoken with me, this is why I send you to Kasie. You're not going to be left or abandoned and forgotten about. Kasie's going to work with you. She's up to date on what's going on. And it's so important that you can have, not just that you can have a lender that you can work with, but that your realtor can too. I mean, that's the truth. If you've got a lender that can't communicate, that can't follow through, it's going to create problems down the line. So
absolutely.
I appreciate everything that you do for us, Kasie. And thank you for doing this with me today to help explain to buyers what's going on and that it's safe to proceed right now.
I mean, and I will honestly, Tiffany, I mean, our applications have not slowed down. So
wow.
It's a great thing. It's a positive thing that we're seeing. And we have friends in this industry working at different lenders and that, and we all talk to each other, and they're seeing the same thing. So it's definitely the time to still be looking at real estate. We may have a couple more hoops to jump through, but we'll jump through them together. And it's just, I say now is the time. I keep saying that because rates are still super low. So,
right.
We get you that credit score where it needs to be and get you in while rates are still low. So we will, don't stop looking at houses.
That's what I keep saying. So I
agree.
Just keep moving forward. Eventually, we will get back to something, maybe a new normal, but it will be normal again. And
absolutely.
Just keep looking. And so unless you have anything else, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. And
that sounds good, Tiffany. And honestly, I mean, you've got Tiffany's numbers up on the screen right now too, 850-525-7461. Put that in your phone.
You're the best.
I know she answers her phone. She'll answer questions. And my number is 850-291-1934. I am available for questions.
Yes.
As Tiffany will also tell you, I don't shut my phone off at 5 o'clock. So
no.
Weekends, evenings, we are available.
Sunday, you were available for me.
Yes. So Tiffany, thank you so much for allowing me to do this with you. And it's all going to be good. Everything is still positive and still moving in the right direction. So we'll all make it through this together. Yes.
Thank you, Kasie, for being with us today and giving your expert knowledge there. If you guys watching have any questions or want more information, send me a message, give me a call. We can get you connected to a lender that's local, that's trusted, and that will see you to the finish line. You guys have a great one. And Kasie, I'm going to stop recording now.